Hey, Jason here, back with JJK Professional Services. I wanted to create this video today. It was a bit of an inspiration. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and they were talking about the TV show Undercover Boss. And if you've never seen the TV show, it's the premise is that the top number one, the top dog, the CEO, disguises themselves and work side by side in the trenches, so to say, with their team, their personnel within their business in order to grasp the positives and negatives of the culture and the general makeup of the team, um, just to get an inside look. And sometimes they really get an eye opening to some of those positives and negatives that may be happening that they may or may not have been privy to, because maybe their middle or lower management didn't share it with them. A lot of times when your organizational structure balloons out, and as the number one or number two, you're well outside the balloon or the top of the balloon, some of the information may not filter up. And and it's not the fault of middle or lower management, because they may or may not feel it's an upper management issue, if there is an issue, or something the upper management needed to know because they're handling it at middle or lower management in order to prevent that clogging of that upward funnel. But there's something to be said about sharing of information and the freedom to share information and to be able to communicate. Some of the top bosses, top managers, top CEOs, leaders out there that promote sharing your ideas are probably some of the best bosses to work for. If you are within the organizational structure and you come up with an idea to make a process better or to gain more profits or whatever it might be, the ability to go to the number one or number two and share your ideas and have them listen and take away from it and maybe give you some of their input and their ideas as far as that topic, whatever the topic may be. It really speaks a lot for the organization. But going back to this undercover boss, being able to work side by side with your team and your personnel not only gives you insight into how their makeup of the group is, but it also shows the group that you didn't forget where you came from, especially if you were cultivated and promoted from within. And that's a lot of the work we do with our professional services, is we try to cultivate that leadership, that culture from within, versus going outside of the organization to find the next leader or set of leaders. So, and listening to this podcast and talking about that TV show, I thought back to years ago when I was a chief officer in the fire department. We were on an alarm. We had to lay some hose out on the ground, and we get all done, and it's time to load the hose back up. And took my white helmet off, took my coat off, climbed up on the top of the fire engine, on top of the pumper, and started loading hose. And I had one of the senior members look at me and go, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Helping load hose." And he's like, I thought white hats, once you get to, that's what they called chief officers back in the days, white hats. I thought once you became a white hat, you forgot how to do this work. I said, "Nope, didn't forget how to do this work. Did it for a long time. I can still do it, and there's no reason I can't do it." And the surprise on his face, really, he didn't need to say anything else. And some of the crew that was around seemed to really appreciate that banter that went back and forth. But I also think I got my point across, is that I didn't forget where I came from. I'm more than capable of doing the work with the crew, and the faster we got the work done, the faster we could go home, and everybody went home safe. And that was the point. I think that is really the point of the story. If we all work together for a common goal, the goal of the mission gets accomplished, and we can go on to that next goal of that next mission. And within the fire service, it was getting ready for that next call, that next emergency, and always being prepared to go on to that next call, that next emergency. So how does that translate within your business organization? Same thing. You're setting out tasks in order to accomplish those goals. We're all communicating what those tasks are, and what the goal is, and working together to do it. And if it includes, or that means it includes that top leadership or that top of the leadership funnel, then, or pyramid, I've heard that recently too, on the top of the leadership pyramid, then why not? It just makes the organization better. It shows that sign of unity within the organization, because the worst thing that can happen in an organization is a disconnect from top leadership from everyone else. I've seen that happen. It kills morale, it kills drive, it kills production. Having a complete disconnect, and if you're just sitting on top and sending down orders from high above the mountain, it loses its translation. It loses that enthusiasm, and nobody is amped up to come to work just to hear the direction come from the top of the mountain. So I just wanted to create this video today based on that information. I hope you find some value in it. I'd appreciate, any comments that you can share. I'd love to hear your experiences. Send some comments, or check out our website. If you want to communicate with us, check out our website. We have a lot of training resources on there. I believe you'll find a lot of value in the training resources and the services that we provide. But check that out. Send me your comments. I'd love to hear from you. With that, have a great day.